And they both have to be 1 hour and 200 seconds.
Or maybe about 5 minutes. We'll see. All right, tell me, what's the first story going to be?
Airplane, please.
Okay, an airplane.
And a bus.
And a bus?
And an elephant, please.
Mm.
And a boat, please.
Okay,
And,
okay, okay.
And a submarine, please. And
Okay,
Well,
okay, you're gonna have to write that down. I already forgot it.
Okay. I was gonna say a boat, please, but a submarine is underwater boat, so it's both. So I didn't have to say a submarine.
How efficient. Okay, what would you want your first story to be about tonight?
About. I already told you those stuff.
No, mention 4 of those, max.
Okay. About an elephant and a whale in the skyscraper and 2 humans.
That's not 4 things.
Yes.
An elephant and a skyscraper and a whale and 2 humans, and there was another one that I already forgot.
That was all.
This is making it way too complicated.
It's not.
All right, I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
This, let me see. This is the story of a very special ship. This was not a ship that you would have ever recognized. It was a ship from a very ancient civilization on Earth known as the miniatures. The miniatures were about 2 millimeters high, so almost the size of an insect for our eyes right now. But they built amazing technology. One of that technology was a submarine. And they went on a hunt. Are you okay, baby?
Yeah.
What's that noise?
That's the chihuahua.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was you. She doesn't like my story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see now. Anyways, as I was saying, they went on a hunt with their submarine. But that submarine was no bigger for us humans than a toy submarine would be. Turns out that a large human that saw that submarine on the ocean and happened to be swimming by grabbed the submarine and it became its toy. All the mini-me's died inside after a time because the submarine that was their lifeboat never returned to the sea. It was captured by a pirate that took it to land and sold it as the rare toy to the highest bidder. And the highest bidder in that town was a swindler by the name of John Macaroon. John Macaroon had bought the submarine of the Little Me's, a marvel of technology so small and so modern that it wouldn't be discovered for another 100 years. It was the afternoon of 100 years later when the granddaughter of John McAfee, who had inherited, along with a small fortune, some relics of the family from 100 years ago, got the submarine. And when she opened it, she saw something strange. She took her microscope that did not exist back in the past and put it to the window. And in that tiny window, it said, "Help." And the next window said, "Me." What was that? It was like there was little creatures inside asking for help. And so she carefully looked for an opening. She took the smallest tweezers she could find and she unlocked the hatch on the top. And when she did, to her incredible surprise, tons of tiny little humans showed up. She couldn't believe her eyes. She looked away from the microscope for a second and she couldn't see anything other than like a fuzz. But when she looked back inside of the microscope, the tiny humans were coming out of that submarine that had been in her family for 100 years. And so she put a tiny microphone to them and started talking to them, and they explained where they came from and how they had gotten lost 100 years ago. And they asked this woman to keep it all a secret so that she could take them to that place in the ocean where they were supposed to meet with their own kind, and got taken away from the sea to see if they were still there. And then the girl swore to do what she was asked to do. And so all the little humans went back into the submarine and they waited. And the girl found that place and took the submarine to that place. And 1 month later, she lowered the submarine into the water, the toy submarine. What everybody thought was the toy submarine, but it wasn't the toy submarine. It was a submarine from the little people. And she dropped it into the water and said, "Goodbye, my little friends." And everybody around her thought she was crazy for throwing such an expensive toy into the ocean. When the little submarine touched the water, it got free and it went back to their people, and they told them about the wonderful world of the giant humans. And that's the story of the giant humans and the tiny submarine. The end.
Best story ever.
Cool. All right, what's your second story going to be? Because that one was yesterday's story.
About a generator.
A generator.
And the electronic Alex tank, which was shaped like an Alex.
Okay. Alex was a very bright young kid. He loved to build gadgets in his room. He was always up to something. Sometimes it would be a drone. Sometimes it would be an intelligent insect or something like that. But this time, he built a robot. Okay, what was the two things in your dream, in your story?
A generator and electric Alex tank that
Okay.
looked like an Alex.
This time, Alex had built an electric Alex tank that looked like Alex. It was the ultimate weapon. He looked exactly like him. And if there was any kind of problem, he could send Alex tank to do his things and defeat any enemy. Alex was so proud of his creation. It was one of many, but it was his best. And one day, he had to put it to the test. Someone came to town carrying a fart. And it was so stinky that the town was in panic. What should we do? This guy stinks so badly. And Alex saw his opportunity to be a hero. I will defeat the stinky one. But he sent his tank that looked like him. Alex would never go near that fart. Not in a million years. That's why he had built his robot. But then he would take all the glory. Mwahaha! It was a brilliant plan. And so the Alex tank robot that looked like Alex went closing to the smelly ass of the fart person that just entered the town. "Hey, you smelly fart," said Alex. "Are you talking to me?" said the person that smelled so badly. "Yes," said Alex. "This town is not big enough for the both of us." But this was not Alex talking. It was the super awesome tank built to look like Alex. "Well, so you're not scared of my farts," said the person that stink. "Never. Try anything. You will not defeat me." Huh. Well, if you ask for it. And guess what happened? Just at that time, 10 blocks away, a tree was swaying in the wind, and it knocked the power out on a neighborhood. And this crazy neighborhood that as soon as the power goes out turned the generator on because he always wants to have power, which we should call Papi, decided that he had to turn on his generator because he wanted power, right?
Yeah.
And so he went outside, and when the generator turned on, you know how the generator generates electricity? Well, it's done through electromagnetic fields, so it's like radio signals. The generators put a lot of noise in the radio spectrum, and that noise got to the super awesome tank built like Alex and messed up its circuits, and suddenly it went stiff like a board, just as the smelly person said, and the super awesome robot couldn't move. The whole town was looking. Oh, no! Even Alex couldn't stand up to this. We will all have to flee the town. Run for your lives. The whole town started fleeing, and Alex thought, oh no, how do I fix this? Everybody thinks I'm dead. Oh, so he finally crawled out of his house, dropped the controls for the dead robot, run to this person, and immediately looked at him in the eye and said, you are going to take a shower right now, and threw a soap in that person's face, and he ran away. And I don't know what happened to that person. We've never seen him ever since. And that's the story of the super awesome robot tank that looks like Alex and the generator. The end.
Yay! Best story ever.
All right, pequeña. Good night.